You stub your toe on the corner of the bed. Your mouth opens before your brain even decides what to say. A sound comes out, loud and involuntary, and for a strange half-second, it actually helps. But the real answer for why that happens is far stranger than "it just feels good to yell." Every time you cry out in pain, you are running a program written millions of years ago, and it still works. Scientists call this a vocalization response. It shows up across nearly every mammal. Rats squeak when hurt. Dogs yelp. Chimpanzees scream in a way eerily close to a human cry. Charles Darwin noticed this back in 1872, writing that cries of pain seem automatic, shared across species that never learned it from each other. If a behavior shows up everywhere without anyone teaching it, it's usually doing something useful. So what is screaming actually doing for you? Pain isn't just a feeling. It's a signal, traveling up your spinal cord into your brain, where it gets amplified or turned down. Your body has a built-in volume knob for pain, and vocalizing is one way you turn it. Researchers call this stress-induced analgesia, pain relief triggered by a stressful event like an injury. John Liebeskind at UCLA spent decades mapping this system. His research showed the body can release its own natural painkillers almost instantly, chemicals called endorphins, which behave a lot like morphine. Screaming can help trigger that release. Why would your body build a system like that? Picture yourself 60,000 years ago, injured in the middle of a hunt. Stopping to feel the full weight of that pain could kill you. You needed a way to override it, just long enough to keep moving. A scream isn't just an emotional release, it's a survival mechanism. Have you ever noticed that a stubbed toe alone in your kitchen still makes you yell, even with no one around to hear it? That's the fascinating part. Vocalizing pain isn't only about communication. Something is happening in your chest, your throat, your nervous system, whether anyone's listening or not. In 2009, psychologist Richard Stevens at Keele University ran an experiment where participants held their hand in painfully cold water. Some repeated a neutral word. Others swore, loudly, repeatedly. The swearing group tolerated the cold significantly longer. Their heart rates rose. Their perceived pain dropped. Stevens theorized that swearing, like screaming, triggers an emotional arousal that activates your fight-or-flight circuitry, and that circuitry has a side effect. It dampens pain, at least for a little while. So what's actually happening inside you in that moment? Your amygdala fires. Adrenaline floods your bloodstream. Your breathing deepens, sending more oxygen to your muscles. Your brain, flooded with activation, briefly pushes pain signals down the list of what it pays attention to. This is why athletes grunt when lifting heavy weights, why tennis players shout on impact, why women in labor are often encouraged to vocalize instead of holding their breath. Sports scientists have measured this directly. Grunting during a high-effort action can measurably increase force output, tied to that same arousal pathway that dampens pain. Isn't it strange that something so instinctive is actually working exactly as designed? Here's the twist. Screaming doesn't just relieve pain in the moment. It changes how your body remembers the event. That jolt of adrenaline isn't just noise. It's your brain writing a warning label, right when it matters most. So you learn quickly not to repeat whatever caused it. Which brings us to something you live every day. Modern life leaves almost no room for screaming. You stub your toe in an open office and swallow the sound. You learned, somewhere between childhood and adulthood, to suppress the exact mechanism your body built to help you cope with pain. Is that a problem? Not necessarily, but the ancient tool is still there, wired and ready, mostly unused. You stub your toe on the corner of the bed. Your mouth opens before your brain even decides what to say. And this time, you understand exactly what's happening. That sound isn't weakness. It's 60,000 years of survival wiring doing precisely what it was built to do, whether you meant to let it out or not.